Now we're recording. Be very informal. And here we are. Hello, my name is Major Gregory H. Arabian. I am honorably discharged from the United States Air Force. I'm a member of Post 41, and I'm the director of the Oral History Project of Post 41 Corporal Paul S. Marsubian Post in Watertown, Massachusetts. The date today is September 5, 2003. And I have with me today a veteran, comrade of Corporal Paul S. Marsubian Post, and his name is Al V. Derian, and he is a veteran with the United States Marines. Is that right, Al?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is the introduction, and now we're going to let you give your veteran story, okay? Hold on just a minute. Okay, Al, again, we're going to be asking you a few informal questions. Where were you born and raised, Al?
I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, but raised in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Born and brought up in Cleveland?
Yeah.
When did you come to Cambridge?
When I was 4 years old, 5 years old.
Oh, so you're pretty much a native.
Native of Cambridge.
Cambridge, Mass, okay. And did you go through the local schools?
Yes, I did.
Graduated Cambridge High School?
No, I graduated from Boston English. I went on the open enrollment system,
Uh-huh.
and I got accepted.
What is an open enrollment? Tell me.
Well, at that time, you could go to any school so long as you had the car fare, and they had room for you.
Uh-huh.
That means in any city pretty near you could have went to.
And did you live with your parents?
Yes, I did.
And where did your parents come from?
Both my parents came from Armenia, Western Armenia. They,
You know the city?
yeah, they're both Kharpetsis.
Kharpetsi. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. And when did they come over to the country?
I think in 1924.
Okay.
I was born just as soon as we landed here.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, and what did your father do?
He was a businessman, and he also had a dry cleaning store and a barber shop.
Mm-hmm.
He did very well for himself.
And your mother was a housewife, I take it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
My father was also a gamavor. He was in this country in 1912,
uh-huh.
and he left and fought with General Allenby in the desert for 4 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, by gamavor, for those people who are not Armenian, I suppose a gamavor means he was a volunteer.
Yeah.
He was a volunteer who came here from Armenia, and then he volunteered to fight with General Allenby against the Turks.
Yep.
And he did that in order to fight for his country, which was Armenia.
Yeah.
Okay. Did both of them eventually become citizens of the
Yes.
United States?
Yes.
And now, you say you were born and brought up in Cambridge, and you went to Boston English. You graduated from high school?
Yes.
And when did you graduate?
I finished when I came back.
You finished when you came back from the service?
Yes.
So you
Well, I
interrupted
had
your
one-
education?
Oh, 4 months to make up,
Mm-hmm.
and I finished an English course and history course and a math course,
Mm-hmm.
and I finished and graduated.
Okay. And so what prompted you to go into the service?
Well, Major, at the time, what America was, you got out of school, it was difficult to find a job. And also, when we looked back on it, we felt as though we were going to get drafted.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so one day, my brother and I, by the way, which we are twins.
Your
both-
brother's Bob Derian.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was in the Marines with you?
Yes.
Mhm.
And we decided that we'll volunteer before they draft us. So I went down in February of 42.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I enlisted at that time. I guess the Marine Corps was limited to what they could take. They were on the budget program, and I got accepted and got called in end of June. And I went into the service end of June, 1942. I went to Paris Island.
Tell me, why didn't you volunteer for the Army? Why did it have to be the Marines? They're a pretty strict outfit.
I don't really know, but that's what we picked.
You didn't make any special differentiation?
Yeah.
Okay. So
We
where did
felt
you...
we were well qualified. We got accepted right away. Yeah.
Okay. Now, December 7, 1941, do you know where you were?
Massachusetts with my family.
Okay. How did you feel about that?
Well, we analyzed at the time, my brother and I used to talk about it, is the first thing that matters is that we knew we had to do something. We're of the age and we're of pretty good health. And
And how old were you then? Let me see.
17.
17 years old?
Yeah, and the political aspect of it, we didn't analyze too much. You know, we had we thought we had a wonderful president, and then someday along the line we're going to get nabbed. So why don't we just go and go into?
So you had no anti-war feelings or
No,
anti-administration feelings? You did what your
I
government
wa-
said
Yeah, I
for you
want
to
to make
do?
that very clear.
Yeah.
Yes. Never had one piece of animosity against the American government my whole life.
Yeah, because today we have anti-war protests.
I'm
We
a
have...
loyal American.
Okay. And now, so when you went into the service, you were about 17, 18 years old?
17 years old.
17 years old. And you didn't have a trade,
No, we just got out of high
just got out of high school. As a matter of fact, you hadn't graduated from high school.
No,
And did many people leave school like you did prematurely to join the service?
I imagine there was. Yes, there was.
Okay. And did you and your brother go together?
No, he got, I didn't think he got called until September.
Uh-huh. And
But
you
I
went...
got called in, the reason that they delayed mine, I joined the USMC, Marine Corps, not the reserves. At that time, they had the reserve open. I joined the Marine Corps.
You mean a regular? You
The
were a regular?
regulars, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he joined the reserves for some reason, but I was in regular service and I had to wait to get my call.
Okay. But you went in earlier than he did?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Where did you go? Where did you volunteer first of all?
Boston, Federal Building in Boston, I believe.
Fargo Building, was it?
Yeah.
South
No,
Boston.
No, I don't remember going to Fargo.
Yeah.
I remember going to the Federal Building, then into one of the Boston hotels, and the next morning down to South Station, and all the way to Paris Island.
Really? That
Yeah.
fast?
That fast.
Okay. And what did you do down at Paris Island besides just basic?
Basic. That's all I was. I was in the school battalion, which is a little more military-oriented, which they prepared guys, they prepared the candidates for different schools.
Keep going. Keep going. I'm just going to put something into this camera to stop it from jouncing a little bit here. Okay. Go ahead. So you went to...
Basic training. At that time, it was quite extensive.
Yeah.
16, 18 weeks, 20 weeks,
Okay.
and they were very rigid.
Okay. So, other than basic training, did they test you for any type
Yes,
of?
yes, I did, and I got accepted as a candidate for. I don't
Officer candidate school?
No, no. It had something to do with intelligence corps,
Okay.
and I didn't accept that. And I told them that I came in here to be a foot soldier, and I wanted to be in the infantry.
Okay. So, did they teach you any skills like Morse code or communications?
No, I went right into an infantry outfit, which was the foot soldier,
Okay.
and all you did is kill it to be killed. I mean, what the hell else are they going to teach you?
Okay.
How to protect yourself.
What kind of arms were you?
M1s,
M1 rifle?
yeah.
And
We started with 03s too. We had the 03s, but towards when they started the government started manufacturing, we got M1s in that place.
Yeah. The M1's pretty heavy rifle
Oh,
now
it's a
compared
heavy
to what we
rifle,
had.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it gave us a lot of advantages.
Did it have a clip?
Clip, and then you could put one in the chamber,
Yeah.
because the Japanese used to count them out.
Really?
Oh, yes.
So, well,
I don't want to,
yeah, I have an M1 now, and it has 30 in a clip.
yeah,
But did they have clips in those days?
yeah, 7.
Seven in a clip? Okay. And how much of a kick did those things give you when you shot it?
Well, I recommend for 2 reasons. Number one, you be sure it was strapped to your arm for 2 reasons. Number one, hold that kick down. And number two, if you fell, the rifle was still with you.
Uh-huh. I see. I
Yeah.
see. And that was a 30, was the bullet a 30-06?
Yeah.
I think that
Something in that
30-06
area,
or something like that, yeah, yeah. So, did you qualify for marksman or
yeah.
anything?
Yeah,
You got a
yeah,
marksman's badge?
Yeah, and all that. Yes, I do.
Okay. And did these rifles also have bayonets to them?
Yes.
You used the bayonet rather than a separate knife or anything like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
We
Okay.
had them too.
You had knives too?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. And one thing that I'm wondering about is, sometime I see in these World War II movies, people say, I can't, when the boat is going down, they say, when the ship is going down, I can't swim. Did they teach you how to swim?
Yeah, we had a small class in swim, but they mostly gave us those rubber float. You squeeze them in the ball,
Oh, really?
which half of them didn't work.
Ah,
Yeah.
what kind of a float was it? Describe it for me.
It was strapped around you, it's a life belt strapped around your belly.
Yeah,
It was about this wide.
okay.
And off it went, and if you got in trouble in the water, you squeezed it, it inflated.
When you squeeze it, where does it get the air from?
It had two
Two cartridges.
cartridges
Ah,
in there.
yeah, okay. So whether you could swim or not really didn't make
Well-
any difference.
That's to be questioned. That's what was given to us.
But it would seem to me that they would teach if you're going to be in the water.
If you were in the service in the beginning, like we were with the first campaigns,
Yeah.
like they had on Guadalcanal, and the equipment was a little inadequate,
Inadequate, yeah,
until it got improved as it went along.
yeah, yeah,
And even the rations were inadequate, because, you know,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's another thing I ask most of the boys, and I ask them whether or not, how the food was. Now, was the food, how the food was, for instance, when you were first inducted, when you went through training, and then you went into the combat
course.
area.
yeah, well, the changes in those 3 levels.
Yeah.
When you were in training, you were fed pretty good.
Yeah,
You moved along onto an army, onto a base camp, what do you call a replacement depot, or wherever you're going overseas. That food had a little merit, but once you
Yeah.
got in the field, the food was kind of iffy.
really.
You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
either got rations, which,
Those were usually the canned rations
yeah,
and
we
the
had
bars.
a sea ration,
Yeah,
which, by the way, were packed in 1919.
really?
Oh, yeah.
That old, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh, but they were still
Yeah,
edible.
well, you ate what you could.
Okay. Okay, so we're at Paris Island. From Paris Island, where did you go?
Went to San Diego to Noumea, Caledonia, and I joined the 2nd Marine Division. That, my brother got there ahead of me for some reason, even though he came in after me,
Yeah,
because I was delayed. I was delayed in California for about 4 months.
yeah. What did you do in San Diego other than have a lot of fun? If you had a lot of fun.
Well, I was very fortunate. The first sergeant of my unit was a fellow by the name of Alex Alexanian.
Ah,
And so you could take from that how I
Ah.
got treated
So-
all the time I was there.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, I've been in San Diego a few years ago, but I'm sure San Diego today isn't like San
Oh,
Diego
no,
was
no.
then. Yeah, yeah. How did you like it?
All right,
You had a good time?
yeah.
Yeah. And,
I did some training there too in demolitions. Unknown to me that what was going to take place in the future. It was never,
yeah,
you know, and got to Noumea. In Noumea, I picked up the division in New Zealand.
Okay, can you hold on just a minute?
Yes.
So we'll pick it up at San Diego. And in San Diego, you got some training in demolitions?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went to Noumea, Pearl Harbor, to Noumea, Caledonia, Noumea to New Zealand.
Okay.
Wellington, New Zealand.
Now, you went to Pearl Harbor sometime in 1942.
Yeah.
Well, can you describe what it was like out there?
It was.
Was the devastation still
The
evident?
devastation was partly there. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Had they, what was the,
Well, it's
you
a
know,
very active port now.
it's an active port now, but I mean, in
Yeah, and then,
1942,
too,
when
they
you
got
went there,
Huh?
did you still see the ships all over the place?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was. Yeah. All the way up to Kaneohe Bay. It was. Yeah.
Did it impress you with what the Japanese had done? I mean, did it have any effect on you, or did you just say, "Oh my God, what's happened here"?
Well, not really. It didn't have an effect on me. The only way I looked at it is, okay, you're kind of young,
Yeah,
Major.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you said, we got to get even with these people.
Okay. So you went to Pearl Harbor from San Diego, and then you went to New Zealand?
No, I went to New Caledonia to New Zealand. Stayed in New
Okay.
Caledonia for about a month.
What's New Caledonia?
It's an island owned by the French, and Noumea is the major city there.
Is that anywhere near New Zealand?
Probably 1,000 miles.
Uh-huh. And what did you do there?
We trained. We had the Marine Corps will never let up on training. If they got a bunch of guys, they got a rifle in their hand and they're out
Yeah.
parading.
Okay.
And then and a month later, we went to Wellington, New Zealand, and joined the 2nd Marine Division.
Uh-huh. Okay. And who was your commander? Any idea?
Yeah, Major Crow.
Uh-huh. What'd you think of him?
Well, it's a very interesting person. When I got to the division, my brother went to the 2nd Regiment, and I went to the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And Major Crow was in charge of the 8th Marines, Colonel Crow,
Mm-hmm.
by then. And I was in the division about a week when I got a call for an interview with him.
Mm-hmm.
He interviewed all his troops,
Uh-huh.
and he rejected them if he didn't like them, or if he thought he couldn't do it. So when I went into my interview, and this was very, not emotional, but it got to me a little bit he said to me, you know, young man, he says, you're Armenian. He says, yep. He says, well, I fought with the Armenians
Mm.
in 1914 and 15 with the British against the Turks.
Really? Oh.
So I was an attaché for, and he says that I never found an Armenian that didn't stand up to his duty.
That's
He
wonderful.
says they're good fighters and they're good thing. And then we went to Tarawa,
Mm-hmm.
and which you know about the Battle of Tarawa was one of the
Yes.
worst we
Yeah.
had in history. And I was in the first wave, and I was very fortunate. We made the landing. But anyhow,
Did you use Higgins boats?
no,
at
they did
Tarawa?
then. Those boats got ripped out. I was unfortunate in the first wave. Number 1 wave was on Amtrak's.
Uh-huh.
So the Amtrak's were able to go over those reefs.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Now, from what I understand, when you get off on, when you get on an Amtrak, you go over a reef, but then it goes into the water, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty deep?
Well, it floats.
It floats.
Yeah, it's got
An,
trains.
an Amtrak floats.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah,
And you were able to make it on
Yeah.
one of those.
yes.
Now, describe for me what an Amtrak is.
It's a tank.
It's a tank.
Open.
It's an open tank.
Tank on top is open,
Okay.
and it just is a troop carrier.
And it has treads,
Threads, yeah.
and the movement of the treads
Pushes.
pushes the tank
Goes
forward.
over anything, reefs, sand beaches.
Yeah, because we weren't able to have tanks float in the Normandy invasion. A lot of them sunk,
Yeah,
but that's a
well,
different type, isn't it?
I
Or is
guess,
it-
I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought they did. I don't know I never saw that picture, Ryan. I don't know
Yeah.
too much about the...
How many troops did an Amtrak carry?
We could get a squad in there, 17, 16,
Really?
18.
Inside?
Yeah, all
I see.
cramped together.
Okay. And it gives you pretty good protection against hostile fire, does it?
Well, you
You-
still have to get out of it. You have to go over the top to get out of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it doesn't drop.
No.
You know, nothing that drops down.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you were able to make it to Tarawa,
Oh, yeah.
and,
I got
well,
wounded, by the way, and so did my brother.
what
He
happened?
Well, I got wounded. I got
Arm, leg?
leg,
Hmm.
shrapnel.
Yeah, okay.
About the third day, well, after most of the fighting was over, which was disastrous for us, the division lost 1/3 of its division in 3 days.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a bloodbath.
Yeah, yeah. How did you, can you give us some sense of how you felt with regard to those who survived? Did you feel guilty against those who didn't survive? Or did
No,
you-
I never got into that, but, you know, Major, I don't think you have enough time to think about those things.
You just do your duty.
You just do your duty.
Okay.
I got wounded, I got put on the same hospital. My brother got wounded, part of his hand was gone.
Uh-huh.
And we were on the same hospital ship going back to IE Naval Heights.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then
So you didn't participate too much in the mopping up of
there was nothing
Tarawa?
left to
Nothing-
mop.
Nothing left to
The
mop
third
up?
day, it was
Really? It was that fast?
all you do is cleaning up blood.
Yeah. What about airstrikes?
Oh,
Did we have air power there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
What if-
They devastated that island, which was probably 8 miles by 3 miles. It was a useless piece of property. I don't really know why they ever took it.
Did we have an airstrip on that island?
Supposedly there was an airstrip on that island.
Yeah. And what kind of aircraft did we use?
Well, we didn't need any.
Didn't need any.
Whatever came in afterwards was used for forward.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
So they probably used that as some kind of a forward base.
yeah.
Yeah.
Keep moving down. They had Macon Island down the ways.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you,
I think they were preparing for Saipan myself, Guam and Saipan
yes.
from those islands.
Uh-huh.
The Gilbert Islands, it's up
Okay.
north from the Saipan and Tinian and Guam, which they were really looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Guam was, of course, the step-off for the main islands of Japan. That's
Yeah,
where
but
they
the
had...
B-29s never made it.
Yeah.
They still
Okay.
chuggled their way in and
Yeah,
dropped in the bay.
I see.
That's why they needed Okinawa
Right. Okay, so,
or Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima was the one they really needed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So after Tarawa, you went
Back to Hilo,
sick bay?
Hawaii. I went to the hospital. Hospital sent me back to my division.
really?
Yes, which was all right.
Was your commander happy to see you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's when,
Were you still a PFC or?
yeah, I was a PFC in regular services
Uh-huh.
means more than what's in the, because it comes under the allocation of their budget, the
Uh-huh.
permanent budget.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Because today we're talking about budgets and everything.
Yeah, well,
About
you
being
know,
able to
Marine
afford
Corps-
the military.
Yeah, well, there wasn't that much in there,
Uh-huh.
Major.
Yeah.
Marine Corps wasn't that big until the war came along.
I know. Yeah, I can imagine.
And then after I got
So when you join your division
Division
where?
back again.
Where was it? At Tarawa still?
Hilo, Hawaii,
Hilo. Okay.
and then Colonel called me in and said that we liked the way you acted as a soldier, and Nimitz headquarters has a special mission if you want to be involved in it.
Mhm.
And he explained the mission to me, which was Frogman under what we just started it.
This is Admiral Nimitz.
No.
No?
This is the Colonel Crow explaining to me.
Yeah, I know, but Colonel Crow said that Admiral
Well,
Nimitz
the
had
Nimitz headquarters.
a
was
Nimitz
it.
headquarters,
Yeah, which was,
which was headquarters, sink
Yeah.
pack of
yeah. And
Pacific.
then
Yeah.
he said, but you have to remember, it's going to be a composite outfit. It's going to be Army, Navy, and Marine Corps, and we'd like you to represent the division. There was 3 other guys from the division, one from the 18th Engineers. He says, and we're hand-picking them out, and we think, Private PFC Derian, that you can handle this.
Yeah, Okay.
And I did. I went and I did.
You felt that you could handle it,
Oh, yeah, I did 4 raids with them, sure.
so it was kind of a volunteer type thing on your
Yeah, I
part?
could get out of it any time I wanted.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the other thing that was impressed on your mind, because
Okay, go ahead.
before the organization had any, there was no organization. All your ranks were frozen. You
Yeah.
would get no rate.
$20.
Okay,
I haven't got everything with me.
all right.
So we went to Kaneohe,
Well,
Marine-
where did you train? From Kilo, Hawaii, you went to
to Kaneohe in the main island of Oahu,
Oahu?
outside, and we
Yeah.
trained there. We put the outfit together. At that time, it was the only team that they had going. They had a team being trained in Maui, but it came after us. They had a team being trained in Fort Pierce, but we were team number 2, which was actually the first team. There was no team number 1.
So this is a frogmen team?
Yeah,
Okay,
frogmen.
and you're trained in demolition,
Yeah,
and I assume this is in the Japanese theater?
yeah. We
Okay.
did all our work in the Japanese theater,
Yeah,
behind the lines, front of the lines, whatever it was called on, we did. We had 5 special missions, and we completed them.
is this what we would call today missions that the SEALs would undertake?
Yeah, they are the SEALs now.
They are the SEALs? Okay, so
Well, they changed that in 1960.
uh-huh.
They went
Okay.
as far as team number 13, then they stopped.
Well, you had to learn how to swim.
I was a good swimmer.
You were?
Well, I was a very good swimmer
Yeah.
in all my youth.
So everybody on this frogmen
Oh,
team
yeah.
were good swimmers?
Well, 5 miles a day we had to swim.
Really?
2.5 one way, 2.5 the other.
And with this with air tanks and things?
No. Oh,
Without any tanks?
No, but we never had no tanks. Only equipment we had was the mask.
And the snorkel too?
No, we didn't have any of
Just
that.
the mask?
No,
Oh.
we trained to be able to go underwater minute and 3/4. And our training was always with weight. We carried packs of tetrahedron dynamite or anything, and we swam with that to be able to handle.
And you got used to that after a while?
Oh, sure. Oh, yes.
So you did 5 missions?
Four missions with underwater demolitions.
Yeah. Well, we understand that a lot of this is classified material, so we're not going to ask you
Yeah.
to comment on it. But is there anything that is not classified that you'd like to talk about with regard to your experience underwater and things like that? You say you were carrying heavy weights.
We were very sure. I would like to talk about it in this aspect. The
Yeah.
teams were very beneficial towards the contribution of making the war easy on the troops that were going to land. In fact, we were involved in the bomb that was dropped in Hiroshima. I won't tell you how that was done. It was basically, we captured an airfield without the Americans bombing that airfield so they could land the Angola Gay on it.
That was on Tinian.
Tinian,
Yeah.
we took that. That's
Yeah.
not discussed too much
Yeah.
because it was a mission that was 42 men against 250 Japanese,
Oh, my God.
and that
Really?
mission is not discussed. And,
Have you ever been back to any of these areas
no, I haven't.
in your life? Yeah. Now, after these 4 missions, when was your last mission?
My last mission was Tinian. I did get
Tinian.
wounded on Tinian and sent home.
Yeah, yeah. What happened over there
Well,
that
we
you can
had-
discuss?
Well, we had to take the airfield, 250 Japs. They went into incendiary. We went into the incendiary. We had to make sure that we didn't damage too much because they needed the airfield.
So you say about 45 of our troops held off about 5 times?
Well, it's not,
Well, what I'm saying is this. Were we able to, obviously, we were able to take care of the, we were able to occupy the airfield.
We took care of it very nicely. Yes,
did.
we did.
Yeah, yeah. So very soon after that, we were able
I
to
was
land our
wounded at
aircraft?
that same operation. I was sent home.
Okay. Back where?
Yeah, and I have a presidential citation. I have a Bronze Star, 2 Purple Hearts.
And where were you sent home? Back to Hawaii, or?
Hawaii. They flew me out of, in fact, they flew me out of Tinian, or no, flew me out of Saipan, Tinian, all the
Really?
way to
Was
a
your
hospital plane.
Was your brother Bob with you, or?
No, he's gone home by then. He was
Yeah.
discharged, his hand.
Oh, yeah.
His
Oh, I
hand's
see.
all gone.
Okay. So, did you see the colonel again?
No, I didn't see anybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have you connected with any of your infantry buddies since then?
No, it's an unfortunate experience. You didn't know too much about each other in that outfit,
Uh-huh.
because we had them from the Navy, Marine Corps. My partner
You're
was,
talking about your frog team.
yeah, my frog team partner was a captain from the U.S. Army. He was from Massachusetts, by the way,
Really?
and, you know, but we didn't know too much
You
about
pretty much kept to each other.
Yeah.
But how about your relationships with the Second Marine Division?
Very good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you never saw the colonel there.
no,
Okay.
No.
And then from there you came back home.
yeah.
Okay. And that was
Wounded and discharged, medically discharged,
that's after how many years of service?
maybe 3,
3 years.
3.5, maybe.
Uh-huh. Now, with regard to your medals, you say you had Purple Heart, of course.
Two
And
Purple Hearts.
Two Purple Hearts.
One with a gold star.
Okay. And when you came home, how did you feel?
Well, you know, there's a little psychological trauma to the affair.
Yeah.
Major, I think I was too young to know too much about anything.
Mhm.
I came home, I waited, got discharged medically. It was a good percentage too. I didn't work for a while, but maybe 5 or 6 months I went into electrical school, Coin Electric, which was a 35-month school.
Mhm.
And I went along, graduated, and went into the industry, which I worked in it for 35 years.
You had the benefit of the GI
Yeah,
Bill.
everything, yeah.
And you
Oh,
took
I
advantage
got-
of that.
I don't have any complaints with the Veterans Administration
Yeah.
or the
Where'd you go to school?
Coin Electrical in
Oh, in
Boston.
other words, you were an apprentice there. You didn't go to any formal training with any
Oh,
college.
I had
or-
formal, that's a formal school.
Coin Electrical?
And Technical School, yeah.
Oh, where's that?
It was in Boston, it's dissolved right out.
Yeah. COIN or AUC?
COYNE.
Coin Electrical School. I see.
Technical. Oh, yeah, we
And you got a rating as
associates, it almost came to associate's degree in engineering,
engineering.
yeah.
Oh, that's marvelous. How about your brother? Did he have?
He went to Boston College, then he went to New York,
Mhm.
and I think he went in a textile business,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, of course, the only time you had any opportunity to deal with the civilians would be prior to your leaving San Diego. After San Diego, it was all combat and all war, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything significant with regard to dealing with the civilians where you were?
Well, you know, it's an unfortunate thing. It seems like the picture has changed today.
Yeah.
Everybody was our enemy. Everybody got locked up, no matter what we took. We didn't care whether they were native or, until it got straightened out by the State Department. Oh, in Baghdad, they don't seem to be doing that.
In other words, everybody that you faced when you left San Diego, went into battle. Everybody that you faced when you went into battle was your enemy. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
I
saying?
don't think we took any chances. We never took chances.
Yeah. Because today we're trying to win them over. What is your feeling about trying to win people over? Now, for instance, this is the year 2003, and here we are in Baghdad, Iraq, trying to win the people over so we can give them democracy. What do you think about that?
Well, there is no doubt in my mind that they're going to finish their job. The vehicle that they use to finish it is not conducive the way I think about it. You know, yes, it's important. We did it in Japan. We took over everything. They had to do what we told them, but over here we're mixing it.
Yes, we're giving them self-government, even
Yeah,
though we defeated them.
We're not ready for that. It took MacArthur 3 years before he gave it self-government in Japan. It took us 3 years in Germany before we gave them self-government.
And here we are, a little over 100 days,
And they
and
wanna-
we're being criticized.
And
Yeah,
well, it's hard. It's a hard nut to crack, Gregory.
yeah.
we didn't have the news medias and
Yeah.
the experts.
Did you have war correspondents with you?
Hi Hurwitz of the Boston Globe.
Really?
Hi was with us, yeah. But
Yeah.
he was limited in what he could say, too.
Really? Okay. Well, with regard to your post-war experiences, you were involved, from what I understand, in the establishment of the Paul S. Masubian Post. Is that right?
Well, I'm going back, and I can't definitely say this, but this post originally started in Cambridge,
Yes.
and I was one of the charter members of the post.
Uh-huh. Who did you get together with that you can
Geez,
recall?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember, Gregory. That's why
Yeah.
my brother was one of them. I think James H. Tashian was one of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the Post started up in Cambridge.
somewhere.
I
Yeah.
recall that we did also have a place in Belmont. Did we not? Or did we?
Jesus,
Yeah.
Gregory, you know, you got.
Yeah. How did you feel about a Veterans Post?
All right. You know how I felt about it after I came home, and case closed. To me,
You did your job, that was
it's
it.
case closed.
You didn't feel as if you wanted to stay in the reserve.
What happened was, yes, there was a thing that took place. Somebody approached me out of the construction industry, which I was involved in afterwards. And they tried to form a demolition outfit in one of the engineering groups. So I tried to tell them, you know, I'm on a disabled list, I get disability. Anyway, they thought that they could do something with that. And well, anyway, I called, I got them formed, and what my experience was and what they had to do, but I never joined them because I didn't want to forfeit any disability, or I didn't want to be in the reserves. It was still a closed case. But I worked with them for 6 or 7 months at the Army base, and we got some kind of a nucleus.
This is a
Demolition.
demolition team,
Yeah.
and you kind of taught them what you know and so
Yeah.
forth. I
Yeah.
see. But you were never formally enrolled in the
No.
in the group.
No,
Do you remember the name of the group?
no.
Okay.
319th Engineer, I don't remember.
Engineering
Yeah,
battalion.
it was an engineering.
It was an army group.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you were talking about the B-29. Of course, there's only one B-29 that's flying today, and that's down in Midland, Texas, with the Commemorative Air Force called FIFI. What can you tell us anything about the B-29
Well,
that you
They,
saw?
we had a lot of them, Gregory, and they would fly to Japan, but they'd never, very few of them would make it back account of the fuel consumption.
Really?
Oh, they'd have to dump them in the bay, dump them in the harbors,
What bay?
usually outside of Saipan, Tinian, Saipan,
I see.
yeah.
So a lot of them never made it back?
Well, however they did it, they
Yeah.
were floating in the ocean.
Yeah. And I suppose they had a pretty robust recovery operation going on.
One of the conversations that we used to have among ourselves, well, why are we doing this? We already took part of that fleet at Coral Sea.
Yeah.
Then we took the other half at, 45% at the Battle of Midway. Why do we need all this?
Yeah.
This is useless. All they have to do is put aircraft carriers in the ocean and block them out. Why are we going from island to island? Every division dumping 3,000 dead, 6,000 or 7,000 wounded, and you kept multiplying that all the way down.
But Japan wasn't ready to surrender yet, was it?
Doesn't make any difference. They
In
could
other,
have sat out there for years. The hell with them.
in other words,
Isolate them on the islands.
I see. So MacArthur's island hopping was pretty,
I don't think it was MacArthur's doing. I think it was President Roosevelt's.
you think so? Yeah. So you never joined the reserve. You helped form a reserve demolition unit, and then you were one of the charter members of the AMVETS Post 41.
I'm pretty sure I was, yeah.
And did you attend meetings rather regularly?
Not regularly, no.
Yeah.
I never joined this post till 30 years later, 40 years later.
Yeah. Well, I'm just a recent.
You know my background, where most of my time was spent.
Yeah. And who were some of the commanders that you recall that we had here?
Don't remember.
Don't remember any?
Yeah.
Uh,
Norman Gillisarian, I believe, was your commander.
Yeah, Norman. Norman
Yeah.
was a commander,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, we've gone through most of the questions that I was going to ask. And what I'd like to do is to see whether or not you have anything that you'd like to add to the interview. Of course, this is a different